So, first and foremost, thank you to everyone who did show up on time. Really appreciate you guys. Wanted to talk a little bit about what is going on with TikTok, what to do if TikTok goes away. And I hope that you guys can get some good value out of this webinar today. So, first and foremost, I just want to introduce myself. My name is Jordan Lynham. I am 26 years young, as I like to say. Happily married, just had a recent marriage, and my wife and I are expecting our second baby boy. I've been in the social media space for almost a decade now. Pretty crazy to actually say that, but we have over personal experience, over 8 years of experience. And in 2021, formally formed Line 'em Up Media, social media agency based out of Maryland. In about 24 months, we were able to scale it to a six-figure agency. During that time, we have amassed over 1 billion views across all major social media platforms. So we've worked with clients from startups to Fortune 500 companies, and I really love the work that I'm able to do. Also, I've been able to track over $1 million in generated revenue for our clients, and I'm really proud to be able to say that. Got another person coming in. So, the current state of TikTok, right? So, right now, TikTok has a little bit over 2 billion users. It is obviously a huge platform. I remember when it was Musically and then it switched over to TikTok. I was a very early adopter of it. I remember someone telling me, "You got to get on TikTok. You got to get on TikTok." And for many months, I was just like who cares about that app? And then we actually transitioned over to it, started doing some work. We saw success in TikTok very early on. Those were very fun days because, some weeks we would have clients' accounts gain 40, 50,000 followers, and it was just absolutely unbelievable. They would go and tell their friends or, their business partners, and they would run back. And it just seemed like at that time, I was very young too, and that really helped propel the growth of our agency. And they were like, Jordan is and his team, they're blowing up our TikTok page. You got to try it. And, it just seemed like every single week we were blowing up a new account with, tens, if not hundreds of thousands of followers. So right now there is over 170 million Americans on TikTok as we speak. So this isn't just a light platform. To date, in 2024, they brought in over $5 billion in revenue generated just from advertising. So that just lets us know that this is a powerhouse social media platform. It competes with Facebook. It changed the way how Facebook and Instagram and YouTube actually started to sorry, some people are joining in, actually started to do their algorithms, right? We saw the adoption of YouTube Shorts. We saw the adoption of Instagram Reels, Facebook Reels, and TikTok really paved a way for that short video format and also gave smaller creators a chance to pop off on these platforms. Before, you needed hundreds of thousands of followers, and they changed the game because now you had smaller creators, maybe, in our cases too, with 5, 10, maybe just 100 followers, getting millions of views on their videos, and then getting tens, if not hundreds of thousands, and sometimes millions of followers to back that. So, over the weekend, not sure if you guys were active TikTok users, but you might have saw this very unfortunate screen when you tried to open up the app, and it was letting us know that sorry, TikTok isn't available anymore. There has been a law actually banning it, and we've kind of known for a little bit of time that this law could come into effect, and it actually happened, right? So, fortunately, a little bit less than 24 hours later, we did get access back into the app. There was some other apps that got taken down with TikTok as ByteDance is the parent company, such as CapCut. I think Lemonade was another one, and there's a few other ones that ByteDance owns. Some of these apps are now finally coming back, but it was so weird to open up an application and just kind of tell you, hey, you can't use this anymore, right? I think it's kind of part of our new modern era, especially in this digital media space. Not too many platforms, I think, have actually dealt with this. So, luckily, there was an executive order signed that gave us a little bit of a delay. We have about 75 days to figure out what's going to happen with TikTok. Are they actually going to divest? to more American shareholders, or is this thing actually going to get banned, right? And I would just want to talk a little bit about what are some strategies that we can do to not lose in this game, right? Have a lot of experience with getting some accounts banned, so I'll share some personal stories along the way. And with this, it causes uncertainty. No one knows what's going to happen. Is it going to stay? Is it going to go away? We're kind of just left in the dark of things. And we still need to operate our businesses. We still need to market. So, what are some strategies that we can do to keep moving forward? Right. And I want to talk a little bit about having all of your eggs in one basket. I'm going to share a personal story soon. And why we should not put all of our eggs in one basket as it pertains to a social media platform. One of my early partners and clients that I worked with, Nicholas Patrick, on his TikTok account, we saw extreme success early on in the TikTok days. And we actually grew 3 different accounts for him, totaling over 100,000 followers, and our biggest account had about 85,000 followers, and it was generating a lot of revenue online for his online store. And the account got banned. So it was a very dark day, because when you're generating $30,000, $40,000 a month in organic revenue from TikTok videos, and that just gets wiped away from you, it's not a good feeling, right? Because you start to scale your operations. Maybe you're gonna I remember he was scaling his brick and mortar stores. He was opening up a second and a third location, and this really took a big hit. And at that time I started to realize, it's probably not smart to always put all of your eggs in one basket when it pertains to these social media platforms. And that's why I always try to have my clients now have a omnipresence on social media, where they're on all of the platforms and not just focusing just on one, because it also affected a lot of people who were running ads on Facebook. The iOS 14 update affected many agency owners, and the way that these apps could track your data on these iPhones. I'm not sure if you guys have downloaded an app and I've seen the screen right here pop up where it says allow tracking or ask app not to track. That really hurt the advertisers, because they lost many key data points behind people and consumers. And again, there was a lot of ad agencies that were thriving at that time, and then got hit with that iOS 14 update, and their businesses plummeted, because their cost per lead went up, their cost per conversion skyrocketed, and people just started to find other means to marketing, or their marketing just wasn't as effective. They were just starting to burn their dollars. So, the consequences of this is it hurts the business owner, it hurts your marketing budget, and we got to be careful with putting all of our eggs in one basket. So I want to talk about diversing your social media strategy. And there's some other key platforms that we should be on other than TikTok, right? There's Instagram Reels, or just Instagram in itself, YouTube and YouTube Shorts, Facebook. There's LinkedIn, which now is starting to adopt video a lot more, as they've added a dedicated video tab, where now we're starting to see the scroll effect on LinkedIn. They didn't want to do it, but obviously you have to keep up with times, and they saw that there was a lot of opportunity to start focusing a little bit more on video. And there's other platforms such as Threads. And then with this TikTok ban, there's some other smaller companies. I think Red Note is one of them, and there's another social media platform. I think it's Blue Sky. So you're going to see some other social media platforms to get on, but Threads is probably the biggest one. It is affiliated with Meta, and these are all really good platforms that we could be marketing ourselves, whether it's personal branding or marketing our businesses on. So I highly advise people to diversify which platforms you're on, cross post, and we'll talk a little bit more about how we can cross post effectively. And just don't put all of your eggs in one basket with TikTok. Regardless if the ban sticks or if it's not banned, it's smart for us to diversify. So, how do we build a resilient social media strategy? One of the first things that I like to do when I'm working with a new client is building out a content calendar, right? Figuring out a consistent posting plan, whether that's going to be once a week, whether that's 3 times a week, 5 times every single day, multiple times a day. You have to come up with a consistent posting schedule across all of these platforms. All of them favor it when you post with consistency, especially YouTube. Posting on whether it's your Thursday posting day or your Tuesday posting day, and making sure that you stick with that. So consistency is always going to be key inside of this. And another thing I wanted to touch on is evergreen content. So focus on topics that remain relevant and can be posted across all of these platforms where people are going to find interest, right? If you don't have a large marketing budget, then you're probably not going to be able to tailor your content exactly how that platform needs, but we can get really close with it and our content and our topics that we talk about to just have that maximum effect. So I wanted to throw up some examples of some evergreen content. Let me move some of these cameras out of the way. Let's say you're in the health and wellness space, right? 10 simple tips for staying healthy year round. That's very broad, but it's a great example of how that topic can be posted across all social media platforms. How to build a sustainable fitness routine, the benefits of drinking water daily, and how to stay hydrated. Those are great topics that you can talk about that will resonate with each audience without you having to record a video for TikTok, record a YouTube short, an Instagram reel. You can record that video once and post it to all of the platforms, right? And this doesn't always have to be videos. This can be some infographics. This could be step-by-step guides. Demonstration videos are obviously, and video content is always going to be king, especially in 2025. So if you can lean towards that, try to do it. But remember, if your budget doesn't allow you, or your schedule and your bandwidth doesn't allow you to always do video content, then you can rely on and lean on other posting formats such as graphics. Real estate is another one. Home staging tips to sell your house faster. That applies to all of those major social media platforms. The complete checklist for first-time home buyers. Top renovations that add value to your home, right? So these are all just evergreen topics that we can talk about that they're a little bit broad and we can narrow them down a little bit better, but I just wanted to give you guys a general understanding. Finance and investing, how to create a personal budget that works, the basics of investing for beginners, 5 strategies on how to save money with your taxes, right? Everyone loves to save money, right? So again, we can use these broad topics or evergreen topics to post them on all of these social media platforms. And I have 2 more examples to just resonate with the different industries that might be in here. E-commerce, how to choose the perfect product for your needs, whether it could be home design, it could be something for the moms and the wives, the kids, or even the husbands, right? Can't forget about us. And care tips for prolonging the life of whatever product you have. Top 10 must-have products for, and then putting the season. This one always hits, right? I always see these videos, whether it's Valentine's Day, it's Mother's Day, Father's Day, Christmas, Thanksgiving. Like there's so many different things that you can do, and those videos typically go very viral if you're able to form them correctly. And then our last but not least, our home services, those guys that keep things moving. Seasonal maintenance tips, right? Or checklist for your home. Signs it's time to replace your HVAC system. We just dealt with a furnace going out, right? It probably would have been good to watch a video before with some of those signs that are going on. And I could have watched that video, whether it was on Facebook, whether it was on Instagram, YouTube, you name it, right? Doing it yourself versus a professional. That video topic right there always goes viral. I see that. I always see very funny videos with that one too, where you try to do it yourself or the professional. Obviously, the professional is always going to win. But those are just really good topics that we can touch on for evergreen content, making sure that your content can live on all social media platforms. And we can get a little bit deeper into that. And I'll give you guys a chance to work one-on-one with us if you want to dive a little bit deeper on some evergreen content or engaging hooks, right? Which is our next slide here. Engaging hooks, no matter what platform you're going to be on, is part of a winning formula for the recipe, right? Engaging hooks is the top, this is the first component in the recipe to successful posts. So we have dealt with companies where we've tested over 200 variations and video content. It wasn't just in 1 month, it was obviously over a pretty long period of time, a couple of months. But in that time, I started to really understand that hooks are probably the most important component to viral video, a successful video, whether it doesn't get millions of views, or maybe just 30,000 views. And it can make or break a video. And the reason why engaging hooks are so important is because we only have a limited time to capture the audience that we want. And say if you lose them within 3 seconds, they're going to scroll away and you're never going to get that person back. Right. So we have to really focus on engaging hooks. And if there's anything that you can work on in 2025, it's going to be working on your hooks, right? There is never and it's one of those things where they kind of change a little bit too as the times and the algorithms change a little bit. So you can always improve your hooks. So I want to give you guys a couple of examples of some good hooks that you can use depending on what industry you're in. And if you need to tailor these down a little bit more, want to work with someone like our agency to really work on, getting better at engaging hooks, just feel free to send us a message or an email and we'll give you a QR code for that later on. So starting with a shocking fact or a statistic, right? Did you know 90% of people make this mistake when they start their marketing campaigns, right? Or let's say you have a website designer when they start their website. This is something that immediately will grab your attention and make you want to listen a little bit more. Posing a bold question. What's the one thing holding you back from, let's say this was in the health and wellness space, from losing weight or lowering your cholesterol, lowering your blood sugar levels? There's so many different little things that you can go in there. And then again, that's one of those things where it grabs you in and you want to hear a little bit more. Create curiosity. Here's why you're losing money without even realizing it. You have the wrong tax strategy. You're spending too much money on unused subscriptions. In my household, we have Netflix, Hulu, HBO Max, Disney Plus. You know what I mean? So there's definitely something in there that we could probably talk on. I should probably talk with my family a little bit about telling a relatable story. I thought I had it all figured out back in 2022 when TikTok was blowing up every single week but then this happened, right? The TikTok shop algorithm started to happen and they stopped promoting normal organic videos and really started to lean more on their self promotion inside of the platform with TikTok shop videos. That's a real story right there, right? When that algorithm changed, it affected our agency deeply because the results changed. Or I thought I had it all figured out when I was running meta ads for companies back in 2019, but then the iOS 14 update happened. Or there was a big law in real estate where I think that you have to get a buyer's agreement, something along those lines where, I thought I had it all figured out and then this law came in, or just there's so many different things that you can relate that to. So that is also a really, really good engaging hook. The transformation hooks are amazing. Whether you're actually posing it in a promise or showing the true results, they always perform really, really well. Our car detailing guys, our lawn maintenance guys, they dominate in this space, right? Showing the before and afters. So in just 30 days, you can completely change your, fill in the blank with this one tip. So again, just something to really grab that viewer in and get them across that bridge. We just need to get them past that first 3 to 5 seconds. And now we can work on the next 7 to 20, 7 to 30, etc., into that call to action. Highlighting a common mistake. Stop doing this if you want to succeed in video content creation. And maybe it's stop editing the videos yourself. Rely on professional video editor. They're very inexpensive. Especially in today's date, where they can completely polish up your videos, make them look appealing, have the right branding on them, make you feel good about that content. So there's a lot of things that you can do with that one as well. or calling out your audience directly. We had a very successful TikTok lead generation campaign where, hey, are you a business owner? Do you want to get more leads for your business? So this one was absolutely a killer for us in 2023 and 2024. Just jumping right out there, calling out the audience directly, especially when you're speaking directly to that person. And you can apply that hook to make your videos a lot better. Let's go to the next one. Starting with controversy. Social media, I'm sorry to say it, but social media loves controversy. People love to go at each other in the comments. And it's one of those things where we've had accounts where we would, start it and people would just go out and they would fuel it and get millions of views on it. And it just would keep on going and keep on going. So, why? Whatever this belief is completely wrong about, and we could bring that into today's politics, right? Why, current president is completely wrong about this, or why the former president was completely wrong about that. Think about that type of video and how well that could work on there. Leveraging the fear of missing out. Not sure if anyone in here holds crypto. There's definitely a crypto right now, XRP, that has just exploded in the past couple of months. This will be like a huge video that someone can do inside of the investing space or the financial space. Everyone is talking about XRP, but here's what they're not telling you, right? So that's a great hook. And you probably, as I'm starting to say these out loud, you probably have seen some videos with very similar hooks to these. Asking for a quick reaction. This one's a little bit more for our meme pages, but double tap if you ever struggled with whether it's like losing weight or becoming a first time home buyer or putting in a microwave above the oven. There's so many different things that you can do with that hook. So I hope that you guys were able to get some really good hooks with that. And if you want to dive a little bit deeper, I'll give you a chance later on in this webinar for us to connect and we can develop a really good strategy for your specific industry and for your specific needs. So when I was talking a little bit earlier about one of our clients, Nick Patrick, and how we had this TikTok account with 80,000 followers. And, he was doing $40,000 in online organic revenue. So imagine his cost to make that was very, very low. So his ROI was very high. He was very happy. When we lost 80,000 followers, we didn't just give up, right? We started to dig deep and think, how can we still maximize this? Obviously, it was a downtime, but the huge benefit that we had was we were able to collect all of the email addresses, phone numbers, and names and regular addresses from those online orders that came in. So we put together an email marketing strategy where we was able to take about a couple of thousand of those 80,000 people and put them onto his email list and remarket to them with new products that were coming out. So that actually saved his business, I would probably say at that time. He obviously had the brick and mortar going, but when people have to come into your storefront physically versus when they can shop online anywhere in the United States, that's always going to outweigh brick and mortar. So his brick and mortar was doing good, but we wanted to scale things and bump them up. So email marketing was a huge plus because he didn't have to lose all of that revenue. He was able to slowly trickle it back in, and then he started some other strategies to eventually exit that business. It was a great story. He started his business with $8,000, scaled up to 1.1 million, and then had an exit late last year. So he's starting another venture, but it was really cool to see a close friend of mine be able to do that. And, if we talked to him and brought him in, he would definitely talk about how email marketing was a huge component and not just losing the game when we lost our 80,000 followers. Building a community, right? Private groups. And getting people off of the platform, getting the data yourself. I had another person tell me once, they were like, imagine you had 1 million followers on Instagram, and it's very similar to TikTok right now, and the app just went down. What would you do? You just lost access to those million people. So we need to own our own data. And that's very, very important. And having private groups like Discord, like School, on Go High Level, even Alignable. I know Alignable still could, potentially maybe one day go down and you want to have that data, but trying to get that data and the people off of the platform so you own your list. Owning your own list is so key to truly owning, your customer list, making sure you get their names, their emails, their addresses. How can you reach out to those people if all these social media platforms went down, right? Very, very powerful. So tools to simplify, your omnipresence, social media, online. Very sorry, I just called a huge word blank. So here are some tools to simplify the process. Some of you guys might have already been editing on Canva or CapCut. Two really good platforms on Canva. You can do video editing, but I would lean a little bit more on CapCut. Now that CapCut might be banned, we might have to start introducing some other platforms, but CapCut is very user friendly. There's a mobile app, there's a desktop app that you guys can use, and you can start as a beginner. And again, you can follow the steps very easily in Canva as well. So you can create high quality graphics with templates that are already generated for your business industry. You just need to plug and play the actual information that is specific to you. And then we like to use a tool called Metricool. We also use Hootsuite. We migrated off of later. There's other ones. I think there's like Buffer and some other ones, but we really, really love Metricool for the amount of accounts that we've run online. It's very inexpensive. And what it does is it allows you to post to Facebook, Instagram, all the major platforms at the click of one button. So you upload your content, whether it's a video or a graphic. And once you publish it, it goes live to all of the platforms. So imagine how much time that could save you from having to load up Instagram, post on there, go to Facebook and post on there. It can save you so much time and free up so much time for you. And I want to just talk a little bit about, an action plan. How can you get started using some of these strategies? I think the first step is to look at what you're currently doing on social media right now, right? How are you posting? What is your posting cadence like? Do you have a content plan? Do you know what you're going to be posting for the next 30, 60, 90 days online? Or do you even have an idea, right? And then start to repurpose that content, your TikTok content. So not just posting it on one platform, get it out to all of the major platforms using a tool like Metricool, which actually is free if you are just a single person running it. If you're not like an agency, you can utilize the free side of that platform. It's actually really amazing. And then building your own list, right? So once we're doing that, we got to find strategies and ways to own our own data. When we get those followers and these customers, bring them to your own platform, get them onto a Google Sheet, print them out every quarter, make sure that you own that list, because as we see, platforms are going. We don't know which one could be next. Remember MySpace, there was Vine. Those platforms were just eliminated, right? So making sure that you can own your own data. And then again, kind of going back with step one is getting that content calendar for at least 3 platforms. You need to be on at least 3, whether it's LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, or YouTube, Instagram. If X is your thing, if you feel like X is a good platform for you, with Threads, get on 3 big platforms so you have a presence on all of them. So you're not all of your eggs are in one basket, and use the tools like Metricool. So I know that we had a couple of late joiners on here. Don't worry, this webinar was recorded, so you will have access to it. I'll put the link in the Alignable chat after this downloads. So I have 2 books, the Viral Video Cheat Code. That's typically one of the things that I was teaching in 2024. Absolutely great strategy to maximize your potential on going viral very fast. And then we also have 100 content creating tips. Worked really hard on that book to just give as much value as possible. Both of these are free. You'll see the QR codes on both sides. Go ahead, download those books. If you feel like you could get some good use out of them. And then also sign up for a free strategy session. If you want more help and you want to work one on one with an agency that has experience in this space, then go ahead, sign up for a 30-minute call. We'll talk a little bit about what you're currently doing, how you can improve that, and then give you some actionable steps to take action on that. So I'll leave this up for about 10 to 15 minutes and we will 10 to 15 minutes, 10 to 15 seconds. Sorry, guys. I need another coffee. It's been a long day. And our last one will be a Q&A session. If there's any questions and answers that you guys want us to go over, please feel free. I'm going to put this slide back up so I can read some comments if there are any. Any Q&As?
How can we get in touch with you?
The big QR code that's pointing to the sign up for a free strategy session, that is a direct link to my Calendly. You can also connect with me on Alignable, where you actually got the link to get onto this webinar. Feel free to connect with me on there. We can chat. But the best way, just one-on-one, it's free, no obligations on it. It's just a 30-minute chat. We can kind of go over whatever you need. Thank you, Bobby. Appreciate it. Hope you had a good lunch. I need some lunch, man. It's been a long day. I'm looking forward to some lunch. Appreciate you saying it was informative. The link for the replay will be on the Alignable app. Also, if you want, you can put your email down below and I will personally email them to you. Thank you, Susan. Yeah, anyone that wants the replay, just put your email down below and I typically get that out before the end of the night. Yes, thank you guys. Appreciate everyone that joined. If there's any questions, feel free. I'll stay on for about another minute. And then my wife and I are going to go run to a baby appointment. Awesome, awesome. All right, so I got your emails. I'll make sure that you get the replays as soon as it's downloaded. I'll send them directly to you. I really appreciate everyone for taking the time to join this webinar today. Don't put all of your eggs in one basket on a platform. Let's have success in 2025. You can have it on multiple platforms. And I hope I can help you in some way. Awesome. All right, everybody. Appreciate you.
Thank you, Jordan.
Of course. Thank you.